Hello and welcome to my Game Week 6 transfer targets video. My name's Peter, and as per usual, I'll be looking at the best players to bring in this game week, plus I'll review some of the most popular players being transferred in and out, and discuss whether managers are making a good decision with those moves. If you enjoy the video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Now let's get started. Luis Diaz is again one of the most popular transfers in this week, with over 800,000 new owners. His popularity stems from the massive success he's had in the league this season, with 5 goals and 1 assist, taking him ahead of Salah in FPL points scored. I talked about him in my wildcard video yesterday, so I won't go into great detail again, but Diaz isn't a player I would be looking to transfer in this week. Poor upcoming fixtures are the main reason for this decision, but also Diaz has exceeded his expected goal involvement, with 5 goals from only 2.63 expected, and 1 assist from only 0.68 expected. Most players don't tend to continue to outperform these stats during the course of a season. There really are only a few who do regularly, such as Son of Spurs. Diaz isn't on that list. I would expect him to return to normal levels as the season progresses. Without great fixtures, the number of chances he's been getting recently is likely to decrease, and as such, the number of goals and assists drops too, so I probably wouldn't look to get him in now until a better fixture run around game week 15. Sticking to midfielders, Bryan Mbeumo has had a great start to the season, with 4 goals in 5 mostly tricky matches for Brentford. This is a great return, and with expected goals of 0.35 per 90 and expected assists of 0.26, this seems primed to continue as he is heavily involved in all the Brentford's attacking moves. We know Mbeumo plays the full 90 minutes most weeks and has penalties to boot, which all adds to his appeal. His fixtures are getting easier now too, with home games against West Ham, Wolves, Ipswich, Bournemouth and Leicester coming up. His away fixtures aren't bad either, with Manchester United, Fulham and Everton all in the next 8 weeks. I really rate this transfer in, and barring injury will continue to do so for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Although he's not my move for game week 6, I will be getting him in by at least game week 9, as I have other moves to prioritise first. Saka happens to be that priority move for me this week, and he's also been transferred in by over 350,000 managers so far. He's had an attacking return every week this season, helped with his fantastic corner deliveries leading to 2 goals for Gabriel in 2 weeks, and his stats back up his returns, with 0.33 expected goals per 90 and 0.33 expected assists. He has penalties and usually plays 90 minutes, although if Arsenal are winning easily, he is being known to be taken off early. Of course, by that time, he's usually racked up a couple of attacking returns. Arsenal are just beginning a wonderful fixture run, starting with Leicester and Southampton at home, followed by Bournemouth away. They're going to get goals in those matches, and Saka is so good that after, he's not someone you have to transfer out straight away when the matches become trickier, such as Liverpool and Chelsea in game weeks 9 and 11. He is a top transfer in, so much so that he's also one of the best captaincy options this week, alongside Haaland and Salah. Emile Smith-Rowe has had a similar number of transfers into Saka, having also had a great start to the season, especially for a player who is only 5.8 million. 2 goals and an assist is a wonderful return, but Fulham's great fixtures are now over, and Forest away, Manchester City away and Villa at home are particularly tricky as the next 3. No teams are likely to score highly in these matches, and with Fulham's goal chances being more limited, Smith-Rowe is likely to assist and score less. This isn't the time to get him in. It might even be the time to transfer him out, and with better options such as McNeil, Semenyo and Morgan Rogers at a similar price. The Arsenal defence has been targeted by manager transfers in this week too, with Gabriel and David Raya totalling more than 1 million transfers in between them. I've spoken about Arsenal's great fixture run already, and it applies to their defence too. Gabriel's goal threat and consistency of playing every game make him an obvious pick amongst their defenders, so it's a great move to make. David Raya is a little more tricky, as he missed the midweek Carabao Cup match with a muscular injury, and he's not been given the green light to play the next fixture against Leicester. I would hold fire on him until we hear for certain from Arteta that he is going to play. If not, I wouldn't take the risk on him at all, as we definitely want Arsenal players who are going to start all 3 of their upcoming games. Gabriel, Saliba, Saka and Havertz are the most obvious to fit into that category. So that's who I'd be going for. Most of us don't need to make a goalkeeper transfer anyway, but Flecken and Pickford are the picks I'd go to if you do, as they have the best run of fixtures for the next 8 to 9 game weeks. Looking at transfers out, managers are offloading their Newcastle attackers, and that makes perfect sense to me. I have been thoroughly unimpressed with Newcastle on the whole this season, and Fulham were completely dominant in beating them 3-1 in game week 5. The next 6 fixtures are really poor, facing Manchester City at home, Everton away, Brighton at home, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, and Forest away. It's not the time at all to be owning a Newcastle player, especially a badly performing one. They'll have their moment again later this season, but for now it's time to get rid. João Pedro has been a bit of a nightmare for owners recently, and this morning Fabian Hertzler has come out and told us that he has an injury problem and he doesn't expect him to be available this week to play Chelsea. The fixture run for Brighton is also terrible for the next 6 weeks. Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool and City. That is tough, so you don't really want to play him anyway, and if he's still in your squad, he's one of the first players you should look to be moving on. Looking again at Liverpool's attack, quite the opposite of Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota and Mo Salah have been heavily transferred out this week. I can understand the Salah move a little if it allows room to bring in Saka and also upgrade your squad elsewhere. And the same for Jota if you have enough money in the bank to go straight to Saka. As the Liverpool fixtures are soon becoming more difficult, it wouldn't be long before I'd be looking to move Jota on, and I would consider doing the same with Salah, but with Wolves away in game week 6, I wouldn't be doing it this week. There was a school of thought, as game week 5 drew to a close, that Jota may not start the Wolves match, but having played only 60 minutes against West Ham in the midweek Carabao Cup fixture, and seeing his main competition, Núñez, play the whole 90, it does seem highly likely, albeit never guaranteed, that Jota does in fact get the nod to start this week. You'd expect him to get another 60 to 70 minutes, as has been the case in the league this season. Salah only played the last 20 minutes against West Ham and will definitely start. Wolves haven't been the greatest defence in the league this season, especially struggling at home, conceding 8 goals in 2 games. Liverpool could easily go there and get a few goals themselves. It's a pretty nice fixture for a Liverpool attacker. I wouldn't be looking to sell either for another week, maybe 2. For my own team, I've already bought in Saka to replace Son. Saka's fixtures are just too good to ignore, and although I don't mind the game Son has coming up, they just don't compare. It's an easy decision and one I've been planning for a while. I'm also considering bringing in another Arsenal midfielder, and top of my list is Leandro Trossard. It was between him and Martinelli, both of whom seem to be highly likely to start the next few matches with Ødegaard injured. However, with Trossard having played only 45 minutes against Manchester City after being sent off, and Martinelli racking up 110 combined between the City and Bolton game in midweek, I think Trossard may end up getting the most minutes of the 2 players this coming week. I couldn't really pick between them otherwise, so that was the deciding factor. I've also probably changed my mind about who I transfer out to bring him in. It's no longer Diogo Jota, for the reasons I've mentioned above, and instead I would remove Emil Smith-Rowe. Jota may still go in the next few weeks, but I think he's a better bet than Calvert-Lewin this week, who I would bench if I make the move. I'm very happy with the look of my team then, and don't see the need to make wholesale changes or wildcard yet. That's all for now. I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, please hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed it. See you for the next one.